makeup artist, who's my producing partner, and myself, we meet with writers and talk about TV show ideas. And Aaron Korsh came in with an idea for a young character who pretends to be a lawyer and gets a job at a fancy New York City law firm. That immediately spoke to me because my father used to run one of the most powerful law firms in New York until he passed away. My brother works at an extremely powerful New York City law firm, so it's a world that I know intimately. And I thought this was such a fun way to explore a world that I knew so well, because unlike other, legal shows where maybe the law firm just represents a sort of way to do case of the week, what Suits does is, the law firm represents this kind of oasis high above the streets of New York, which is really what they're like. Everybody is dressed so perfectly, and the furnishings, everything about it is so rich and luxurious. And I thought, that's a great world to drop a character like Mike Ross into, somebody who's pretending to be a lawyer and who never even graduated college and who at any second could get found out and could get kicked out of this paradise.
She is very strong. All of these characters have a very definite will of their own. And as long as they don't set fire to the firm, it's okay. As long as they do their job and do it in such a way that it has integrity, then she's okay with it. But once that starts to wane, then there's a problem. We do see Jessica in more of a vulnerable position in the second season.
The first time you meet Rachel in the pilot episode, not only is she a little guarded, she's almost a little abrasive. I think she's been so accustomed to meeting these hotshot associates who come in that she assumes Mike Ross is very much like the rest of them. Obviously, through the evolution of season 1, Rachel and Mike's relationship becomes a bit deeper than where it starts off. She is not only his confidant and ally at the firm, but of course there's a romantic interest brewing. And by season 2, you really get to see not only is she this driven and ambitious woman who has a soft spot for Mike, but she also has sort of opened herself up in a different way. So maybe she's more vulnerable. And of course, she's still working on her own career aspirations of wanting to become a lawyer. So I think for season 2, there's a lot in store for Rachel, and both romantically and professionally.
She's so well written. Even in the tiny little bits of her, you just get such a strong sense of her voice and who she is, and who she is in this particular world at Pearson Hardman. So I didn't have to do any research in that way. I did talk to my brother-in-law who's a lawyer and my cousin who's a lawyer, and just ask them what makes their assistants absolutely indispensable to them. And it's really fun to play Donna because, she's incredibly confident in her position at the firm because she knows that Harvey can't live without her, and because they have this long past together, and she doesn't suffer fools. I think she has a lot of fun. She makes her work life fun for herself. So it's great. Donna is incredibly loyal. And in the first season, we really get to see what lengths she'll go to protect Harvey. And we get to see her be right on the money with that. And going forward into our second season, she may get that wrong once, and that's not easily resolved.
As far as Louis is concerned, it's a combination of many, many different people that I have met or observed over the course of my life. As far as, I think people know who this guy is because they have him in their lives, whether it be in their workplace or whether it be from high school. This guy exists everywhere. We all know an ass when you see one. It's like, they could cut you off in line. They can, I don't know, like cut you off in traffic. Based on what I've observed over the course of many years, I've always been fascinated with what makes someone like this tick, where it comes from, where the pain and suffering comes from, where the bullying comes from. What did somebody do to you that was so terrible that makes you the way you are? Because this type of guy thinks he's good. So there's an innocence, and that's what I like to concentrate on, the innocence. I think that's a real challenging aspect in my job.
We were a bit oblivious to what was happening because when we were filming season 1, we shoot in Toronto. The show wasn't airing in Canada at the time. So for us, we knew we were working on something that we loved making, but we didn't, and we knew what the numbers were, but we didn't really understand how much love we had from the fans and how much support we had just beyond a critic's level until we all came back home, I think, on hiatus, at which point we realized that we were part of something really big and exciting. So it's still surreal, and season 2, I think, will just take things to the next level. But I'm a lucky girl. I'm really happy to be working with people that I love so much. It makes it really easy to go to work.
Obviously, we're thrilled that the fans are enjoying the show. That's a really powerful motivator to work hard to continue to make a good show. I think, we're all knocking a lot of wood and, a little hesitant to talk about it too much because you don't want to jinx anything, right? But I hope that it continues to be enjoyed and to be successful going forward because we all love working on it.
I couldn't wait. I could not wait. I am a Cuban-American woman. My parents are Cuban. To have this offering to this culture that is so dear to me is a point of such great pride that it makes me very emotional.
It's icing, for an actor to be a part of a show, let alone a great show, and then a show that travels all over the world for people to see. Come on. I mean, it's fantastic. It's flattering. I can't wait for as many people to see it, as long as they don't think that I'm really that guy.
What's amazing about the second season is that Hardman comes back, and he was the former head of the firm who got chased out by Jessica and by Harvey, and now he's coming back. He's going to try to take over the firm, and he is a great villain and a great foil. And here's the thing about the comedy of Suits, because at the end of the day, Suits is a comedy, but it's my kind of comedy, which is it's characters under real pressure then being funny and being sarcastic. And so the more pressure you put on the characters for a show like Suits, the funnier the characters can be and the more satisfying that humor is for the audience. So season 2 is so much more exciting because there's a takeover, there's a real, something that we can genuinely be scared of. I mean, I love Louis Litt because he's a threat to Mike. And he's one of my favorite characters I've ever been involved with bringing to the screen. But Hardman is Louis Litt, who can be a threat to Jessica and to Harvey. And so and because of the tone of Suits, and because it's a comedy, it's a character-driven comedy. The more pressure you put on Harvey and on Jessica and on Patrick and Donna, Rachel, the funnier they'll be. And the funnier they are. And season 2 is extraordinary. The other thing, the reason why I really love television is that you get to do season 1, you get to then watch it and reflect on it and see it in front of an audience, and then you get to do a season 2 with everything you learned from season 1. And unlike film, where you sort of make all these decisions and then you commit to it and then that's it, and the film comes out and it either worked or didn't work, television is this ongoing organic process where you can see what's working, what's not working, and in real time chase the things that are working And Aaron Korsh, who created the show and is the writer, what he did during the break between seasons 1 and season 2 to sort of reinvent the show, not rest on his laurels and just give you a second season that's the same as season 1, but say like, you know, I'm going to be that underdog again like I was at the beginning of season 1, and I'm going to go for broke. I'm going to really push myself, which is what Aaron did and the writers did on the show, and generated scripts for season 2 that are extraordinary. Honestly, you know, they're the best scripts as a film or television that I've ever been exposed to, week after week after week. It's just, season 2 is a huge win.